Moza Black Friday 2025 is live. The deals are here, and I'm going to let you know in this video what I would get, what I wouldn't get, what I think are the good deals, what are not the good deals. Just going to give you my opinion based on their website, because Moza said to me, would you mind going on our website and just make a video on what you see? They didn't tell me to say anything or not say anything. They haven't seen this video. So this video is sponsored by Moza, but that's just because they want me to go and look at their website. So here we are. We're going to grab the deal, and I'm going to let you know what I think are the good deals, what aren't the good deals. So Moza Black Friday up to 29% off starts now. So lowest price of 2025, save up to 29% on selected flight and racing gear. Okay. Free Moza merch. Okay, Moza hat, t-shirt and canvas bag. I don't care too much about that personally. New product shipping deal. Okay, we'll see what that is. And boosted Elite Club points. I don't know too much about the Moza Elite Club. So for me, I'm mainly looking at the lowest prices. We'll see what the merch is as well. So explore our new products. Okay, so these are new products. We've got the R25 Ultra and we've got the R21 Ultra. So there's no Black Friday discount on these I can see because they've just come out. I guess this is where they have the better shipping rates. So by the way, the R25 Ultra is already pretty insane value for $900. Comparing it with, I think, pretty much every other 25 Nm wheelbase in the market, it's just cheaper. So I think this R25 isn't necessarily about crazy new features and such. It's more about coming onto the market and being available at $900. And this is no joke of a wheelbase. Like, this is a serious wheelbase. It's serious enough to injure you if you don't use it properly. So it requires you to be pretty skilled and sophisticated at using it. And it's $900. The R21 Ultra, which I haven't reviewed yet, is $699. It'll be interesting to see whether it's worth, in my opinion, saving that $200 or not. But I haven't got hands on with it yet, so I don't know. But interesting to see they're both there, and there's some more flight sim stuff as well. Okay, so let's go on to here. Racing bundles. Let's see what we got in racing bundles. So, R3 racing bundle for PC. $279. Okay. So that's only the PC one, but the Xbox one's on the right hand side. So I actually have an R3 here that I reviewed a long time ago with the rim and the base. It's a 3 Nm direct drive system. It's actually 3.9, but it's 3 Nm. That is one of the cheapest ways. In fact, I think it may be the cheapest way to go direct drive racing on Xbox. Now, the Thrustmaster T248R, I was just looking at for another video, I think it was $349. So the fact this is $10 cheaper for direct drive is kind of insane. Now the rim is basic, but it's actually not as basic as other rims and other ecosystems. Like, it's got this nice finish to it. It's got lots of buttons. It's got the Xbox buttons as well. It's got the Moza quick release. So it doesn't feel like super cheap actually. The pedals, I don't rate the pedals massively. I don't rate the SRP Lite pedals massively. Obviously, I'm using generally quite high-end equipment, but I do think in the Moza ecosystem, if you can upgrade out of those SRP Lites, it's worth doing it. But for $279 for the PC bundle, that's kind of insane. Given that the rim is must be $150 or something, so then you've got what is it? I can't do the maths. Basically, the rest of the dollars split between the pedals. Yes, I don't rate the pedals massively, but then how much you're getting the wheelbase for is a bit mad when you think about it. So $279, that's pretty cheap. On PC, you do have bundles from other brands that can get down to around that level, but $279 is still pretty insane. And the Xbox One, I would actually do it a little bit differently. I did actually build a bundle I was looking at, I think before Black Friday, so we'll see what the prices are. And I would do it a little bit differently. Right, here we go on to wheelbases, and this is actually what I would do differently. And I can see that the R9 V3 is $299. Okay, now firstly, that shows you how insane the R3 bundle is. That for $20 cheaper, you're getting, yes, it's 3 Nm versus 9 Nm, but you're getting pedals and the rim included for less than the price of a wheelbase. And also, that pricing is very competitive because the Logitech RS50, I believe, is $349, if I remember. Yes, that has True Force, but it's 8 Nm, so about the same Newton meterage. but this is $299. This is like $50 cheaper, and that's actually the discount they've done. So that is a good deal, I think. And anyone looking for an R9, that's a good deal. That's actually a genuine, probably going to go on my list as like good Black Friday deals. The R12 for $429, save 9%. I would get the R9. I wouldn't get the R12 there. I'd get the R9. I'd save $130. I'd get the R9, and I'd use that $130 to get me towards a rim, or get me onto SRP pedals, or maybe even CRP2 pedals. So that's what I would do. I told in this video I was going to say some stuff I wouldn't get and some stuff I would get. I hope Moza are happy with that, because we're covering the website and we're going to go through the Black Friday deals. Right, steering wheels. This is part of where you get the benefit of being in the Moza ecosystem. We know that they have lots of crazy wheels in all different form factors, going all the way up to like the Lamborghini wheel and the Moza Vision GS. This is super interesting. I'm not sure I've seen this before, or if I've missed it, because I'm noticing it now. This is the Moza ESX wheel for PC and Xbox, available individually now. That means you can pair this with any other Moza wheelbase, I believe, and go racing on Xbox. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's how it works. So if that's the case, again, even though the R3 bundle is insane value for money, like just in terms of the cheapest way to go direct drive racing on Xbox or basically PC, I would actually get the R9 and I would bundle it with the ESX. So then you need to get some pedals for sure, but for $430, you just need to add pedals, and you've got a 9 Newton meter, and you can go racing on Xbox. Pretty crazy. Other wheels, we've got Moza CS V2P. I don't rate it that much above the ESX, so I'm not that interested. Moza KS, I'm very interested in. $229. I thought that used to be $279, but $229 on Black Friday, that's a real bargain. That goes head-to-head with the Fanatec, not McLaren, whatever it's called now, Fanatec GT3 wheel, but basically the McLaren one. This is a GT form factor budget king wheel for $229. If you've been waiting for a GT wheel in the Moza ecosystem, maybe you got a R5 bundle with just a round wheel, worth looking at that. I really rate that wheel. It doesn't feel super premium. My one over time got a bit loose. I had to take off the sticker and tighten it. There's a video on my channel on how to do that. But for $229, that's a great GT form factor wheel. So that's good to know about. I like that. Might add that to a bundle. The truck wheel, $229, very unique in sim racing. I'm surprised every other brand hasn't done this. Like, it's just a nice truck wheel. I love how it's got a rev bar. You can buy an adapter for your wheelbase that tilts it to be like this, but I've also just used it like that. If you like Truck Simulator, that's almost a must-have. So that's a nice wheel. Good to see that on discount. What else we got? The RSV2, again, it's ESX is kind of fine for me. And then the FSR2, I like the FSR. I like the FSR2. 8% off, $599. It's not a crazy, massive discount. If you've known that you really want to have the FSR2 because of the screen and stuff, now is a good time to maybe get it. But that's not a crazy, crazy, crazy deal. I know that Sam, my co-host, not the shows, he got one secondhand a bit cheaper than that, but that's the FSR2. Let's go on to pedals now. Yes, CRP2s on discount. I like this because I like the CRP2s. They're good pedals from Moza. They're better than the CRP1s. They're way better than the SRP lights. So I like the fact they're on discount, because anyone, again, who's been thinking about upgrading, for me, this feels like it's a Black Friday thing from Moza that just like making it a little bit extra if you want to upgrade. That's what I'd say. So 8% off those, $369. They are nice pedals. They obviously are the gateways to getting the M Booster, but even if you forget about M Booster, they're nice load cell pedals. I like the CRP2s, they feel premium. So $369 for those. Definitely go check those out if you're on SRP lights or SRP. You've saved up a little bit and you want to get nice Moza pedals. SRP light clutch, like I said, I'm not personally that interested in SRP light pedals. Flight sim stuff here, accessories, table clamp fine, e-stop. If you're getting the Moza R25, I strongly consider getting the emergency stop. This is a serious wheelbase. This can hurt you. Like, this is like driving a powerful car. Like, it can hurt you. So e-stop switch, 29% off. Makes it look professional. So I would consider getting that as well. Black Friday terms and conditions. November 14th, December 5th. Newly released products not eligible. Yes, we know that. The Moza merchandise offer. I personally wouldn't make my buying decision based on that. That's just like a little bonus they're throwing in. First come, first serve. Only valid for orders to the US and EU. Okay, so maybe not the UK as well. Good to know. I'm in the UK. Giveaway. How do these work? Okay, these are just standalone giveaways. So little bonus in this video here. I think anyone can enter these. So I'll put some links in the comments. I'll put my affiliate links to all the Moza stuff. Obviously, it gives me a little commission if you do decide to buy anything. Reduced shipping rates for newly released products. That'll be like R25. In fact, it says here R25 and R21. And then the Moza Elite Club, I don't really understand. Returns and refunds. For returns involving orders for free gifts, the gifts must be returned. So remember that. If you buy something and return it, you've got to return your gift as well. We cover everything on this channel. Now, I did see... Okay, let's go to racing. Let's go through all these and see any more deals that didn't appear, which we have here. So the R5 trucking bundle. And I'll also show you a little bundle that I've made as well. So R5 trucking bundle... $499. Arguably, even though I don't like SRP lights, arguably in a truck sim you don't need to have a load cell, so maybe that's a good way of going in. And also you've got, it looks like you've got the trucking angle thing. So if you like Euro Truck Simulator 2 or American Truck Simulator, 449, 9% off, R5 truck wheel. You're gonna go trucking for $500. Okay, the R5 racing bundle I wouldn't get, actually, because I think those are SRPs, I think they're SRP lights, not SRPs. Let's have a look. Let's check. What are we talking? SRP light pedals, no load cells. So I actually wouldn't get that. I would build my bundle that I'm showing you separately. 10% off the R9 and RS. Again, I'm not that crazy about the RS V2, so I wouldn't get that. I'm not crazy about CS, I wouldn't get that. R9 and GS, I wouldn't get that because I get KS. R9 and FSR2, 10% off. So if you know that you want the FSR2, okay, maybe. R9 and KS, I would get that one. R9 is the Newton meters you need. I don't think you're going to miss the R12. Obviously, we're trying to do stuff a little bit budget here, get a little bit of a deal. So R9, absolutely fine. And then the KS wheel as well, obviously. So that's one of my favourite bang for buck wheels. So 509 in there. I think that's slightly cheaper than buying them separately. In fact, let me do the maths in my head. It's 299 for the R9 and it's 229 for the KS on Black Friday. That's 529. This is 509. So you save $20 if you buy them together. I can do the maths. So yes, if I was doing a 23-hour iRacing race this weekend, Jimmy Broadbent's charity race, one of my teammates who was very fast was on Thrustmaster TLCMs, wanted to upgrade his Thrustmaster belt-driven wheelbase, and I said, well, just get the Moza R9 base and keep your load cell pedals. So I think that's why you have a bundle here. You can keep whatever pedals you've got if you haven't got them already. So yeah, and I would get that over the R12 one personally, for me, having used the R9. And the other ones, I'm not that crazy about the deals there. So that, for me, that's a standout one there, R9 V3. Obviously, you've got the R3 bundles as well that are just really very good on price. Okay, wheelbases. Let's have a look. So R25 Ultra, R21. We know the R25 just on pricing is just like insane for 25 Newton meters. We know that SimLab's coming out with like a 39 and stuff. I genuinely don't think if you buy this, you're going to be jealous of the SimLab. I think you're going to try it. You're going to work your way up and be like, I can't really drive one much more than 15 or something anyway, if you're like me. So R25 Ultra, obviously with the rev strips as well, and some next generation force feedback telemetry and things like that. So hopefully there's lower shipping on that. R12 for $399. But I would save 100 and get the R9. And the R12 V2, I think it has a higher encoder. I'm not sure what else it has in terms of the V2, but again, I would get the V3. 14%, I get the V3 there. Okay, so what do we got here? Steering wheels. Let's have a look. Again, like I said, in Moza, you're in one of the best steering wheel ecosystems. That's why we're here. 8% off the Moza CS. For me, don't need it. 8% off the Moza KS, now 229 for the GT. Yes, I like that. Like I said, the GS, no, I just get the KS. RS, no, I'm happy with. FSR, you know, if you want it. ESX, very nice, gives you Xbox compatibility, 129. So if you want to make your Moza system Xbox compatible, just get this wheel. Truck wheel we talked about. 7% off the Vision GS. That's quite a niche product. You're going to know if you want it or not. Nothing off the Lamborghini Essenza. That is a very nice wheel, but remember, it doesn't have funky switches. But I've been using that wheel a lot, and it's very, very, very nice and premium. That is one of the nicest wheels I have. The Mission R wheel not out yet. The Revoluta wheel not out yet. We'll keep an eye on pricing on the Revoluta when it comes out, so make sure you subscribe. That's going to be an interesting wheel. Is that going to be an ideal wheel for something like Forza Horizon 6? I'm very interested in. Let's go to pedal sets. Let's see what we're talking about. So, Moza and Booster, that's this active pedal, $7.99, no discount. You're going to know whether you want active or not. It's the only other active pedal available in the world market apart from the Simucube Ultimates and whatever they call the slightly cheaper one. But they're both way more expensive than the M Booster. So good to have that here. By the way, worth knowing that if you don't have CRP2s already, you'd need to buy the active pedal set with the CRP throttle and the bass here. So if you've got the CRP2s, you upgrade, you just get this. If you don't, you get this pack here. I'm very happy CRP2s are on sale because I think that's one of the best products that Moza do. And I'm happy that price has come down. Hopefully, if you've been looking at them, they're a bit too expensive. Maybe that will sway you and you're going to be on very nice pedals from Moza. I was actually on CRP2s when I changed over to Simucube active pedals, and I was impressed by how similar the pedal plates are on the Moza CRP2s from the active pedals. Have a look online if you want to see that. CRP2 clutch, I'm not that interested in. SRPs, this is great. Okay, again, SRPs, 22% off, 139. If you can, skip the SRP lights in Moza and go straight to SRPs. So for 139 to get the load cell, I think that's absolutely great. So I've added that in the bundle actually. So I've done like an alternative bundle to like the R5 bundle and the R3 bundle. That's great. Obviously CRP2s are better, but for $139 to get that load cell, nice move Moza. And the SRP lights clutch pedal, like I said, try and avoid the SRP lights if you can skip them. Okay, what else do we have here? Shifter and others. We got the H pattern, no discount. Sequential handbrake and these shifter knobs, no discount. Okay, would have been fun to see a discount here. The handbrake might be interesting for Assetto Corsa Rally. And then accessories, what we got on Accessory Land. Mounting plate, performance kit, like I said, the performance kit for SRP lights is already $30. So $100 more pretty much, and you go into SRPs anyway. ES Formula mod, I've added to my basket because if you didn't know, the ES wheel is also a hub, so you can just turn it into a Formula GT rim. There's also a 12-inch mod as well. I wouldn't get that, although this is quite a small rim. I think that if you're using it on an R3, that adds to the personality of it. But for me, the racing I like to do, that $40 to get the Formula wheel mod is quite nice. SRP accessory, quick releases. I'll be buying some of these. I bought loads of these already. If you wonder how I use wheels from other brands on my Moza waist, like Asher, Bavarian, it's because I buy Moza quick releases and I bolt them on and I get a little extension. So I do, even though this video is sponsored by Moza, I am also buying Moza equipment and equipment from loads of other brands. So let me know in the comments if you've got any questions about how to use that. It's a very cool piece of technology. It doesn't have USB pass-through in it, as far as I know. So that's why you also see me with a cable. So I put my wheel on it, cable the wheel to my PC, and then I'm racing on Moza. CRP full-length throttle, don't need it for me. Universal hub, personally don't need it, but I see there's a big discount. There's a truck wheel clamp, so that's included in the truck wheel R5 bundle. I wish the extension rod was on discount because that looks so interesting. Like a really long shaft out there. Table clamp and booster extension plate is something you can buy to go behind here, you can see. I don't think it's necessary, but you can see why they do it. The e-stop, great, that's on discount. If you're getting an R25, strongly consider adding that to your basket. The R25 doesn't come with an e-stop, so I would consider getting that. There you can see the M-booster plate if you're just getting it without the CRP2s. So you're not upgrading. And let me show you what I've done in my basket, okay? This is going to be quite interesting. So, in fact, I need to show you first the R5 bundle. So rather than get an R5 racing bundle for $399, okay, you could consider, and let me know what you think, whether you like it or not. You could consider getting the R9 for $299, getting an ESX wheel, so your Xbox compatible, then getting the Formula wheel mod, so now you've got a GT wheel, and getting the SRP pedals for $606. So for $600, basically, you're Xbox compatible, you've got 9 Newton meters, and you've got load cell pedals. Now, given that I think the Thrustmaster T598 is on Black Friday something like $530, for $70 more, you're getting the load cells, and you're in that ecosystem with Moza, and you've got 9 Newton meters. And I think it's similar comparisons with like other brands as well. So that's something I put together. Obviously, you could swap out SRPs for CRP2s if you want to go. I see a lot of people say I've got $1,000 budget. What should I do? So $1,000 budget. Let's throw in the CRP2s in there. So you've got really nice load cells. And also, let's put in the Moza KS wheel as well. It's demanding that I add something to the cart here for free. So KS wheel we know is $229. We're going to add that to the cart. So now let's say we're not worried about Xbox compatibility. We're going to get rid of that mod. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to get rid of the ESX. And now we've got an R9 for $900. This is an R9 load cell GT racing bundle. So this is how you come in at under $1,000. And I think you're coming in under $1,000 because of Black Friday. So let me know what you think about that. Obviously, when you compare this to something like a Logitech RS50, you got way better load cells here. And you've got a bespoke GT rim with backlit buttons. When you compare against Thrustmaster, it's quite a bit more expensive, but you've got proper load cell pedals, very different to non-load cell pedals. And again, probably similar with other brands. So you've got $900 here, a little cheeky bundle that I would call like this would be like my R9 bundle. In fact, if Moza could bundle this and just put it on their website for $897, I think I could point people and say, if you want to go racing on Moza, 9 Newton meters, load cell, KS rim, here you go. So let me know what you think. I'm losing my voice. Let me know what you think of the deals in this video. Anything you like, anything you don't like, any questions you've got on Moza products. Thanks to Moza for inviting me to make this video. They haven't seen it before it goes out, so hopefully they're okay with that. I'm sure they will be. And I'll see you in the next video.